Hey, it's Mudflaps again with another video. How hard is Ulduar really? Well, have you been to Ulduar? Have you tested it out? Or are you relying purely on rumors and things from streams that you've seen or just videos from big streamers? You may be extremely misguided. So, many streamers have been posting videos, podcast recordings, everything of their views on the difficulty of Ulduar, and I honestly feel that most of them are setting people up for a very bad time. Expectations are reality, and if the world is gaslighting you to think that difficult things are easy, when you struggle, you might think there's something wrong with you or your guild, and I'm here to tell you it's not you or your guild, it's them. They were the ones that were wrong. So, streamers seem to now use their platform to flex on everyone else and say how easy everything is when they themselves struggle with the very content they claim is so easy. So I think I'd like to try to help out by giving something that gives real expectations for everyone in how they could use their time in Ulduar wisely, get a real sense of what they can accomplish as a team. So I'm going to give a little overview on what I think are realistic views on the difficulty of Ulduar 25 man. Let's jump into it. So, Flame Leviathan, it's safe to say, everyone will be able to kill us on easy mode on the very base difficulty. That is true. But on hard mode, this will be a very difficult task, even after weeks of gearing. Now, gear does help a ton. Don't get me wrong, it will affect the difficulty of this fight more than almost any other fight. The scaling of your vehicle's damage, and most importantly its health, allowing you to do damage for longer, is going to really help average guilds progress. For Ignis, Razorscale, and XT Normal, well, are these some of the easiest bosses in the raid? Well, yeah, but are they easy? I mean, I have my doubts. Guilds that stack certain classes and buffs, sure, they're going to go in there and they're going to trounce it, but not every guild does that or has the ability to do that. So if you're comparing this to Nax, these are clearly a step up from that. And as far as I know, if we're talking about XT hard mode, that was the only boss that was never killed, even after the nerfs. So who knows how difficult that will be. Now for Kologarn, Auriaya, Iron Council normal, these are another step up from those previous normal mode bosses. The average guild will wipe on these and prog them until they get them down. I watched guilds who killed Zero Light Yogg wipe on all these bosses a lot, like every time they came up to it. So you can't just zerg them like Nax. You actually have to have strategies for these bosses and actually execute them. Sure, you can make mistakes, they're forgiving, but you're actually going to have to do bosses the way that they were intended. So, that being said, hard mode Iron Council is going to be significantly more difficult than normal, and many guilds will prog on that for a long time. Some guilds might never kill it, and that's just how it's going to be in Ulduar. Now, when we're talking about the keepers, Hodir, Thorm, Freya, Mimiron is the hardest keeper on both normal and hard mode, and I predict that he'll remain unkilled on hard mode by most guilds. Hodir is probably the easiest of the bosses, but again, I'm reluctant to say he's just flat out easy. People have to do stuff. They have to do stuff, right? Now, this one is going to be able to be overpowered eventually with gear more than most of the other bosses. But still, these are not Naxxramas. That's the one thing I'm trying to get through. Some of the streamers, they made it sound like, yeah, you're just going to go in, you're going to kill it. One wipe, at most, you got this. I don't think that represents your average guild. Freya is a technical fight, and gear will help only a little. It will take average guilds a lot of prog in this fight, especially on hard mode. And for Thorim, the hard mode is widely considered the easiest one. Well, I don't think your average guild is going to find it that easy. Do you have assignments for every single raider's positioning, their subsequent movements, the technical CDs, tanks that never miss any part of their assignment, raid DPS that all parse over 90 plus, and you remembered to bring almost no melee and lots of range, right? Well then sure, this won't be too hard, but let's be honest, that's not describing the average guild, right? These hard modes are going to be hard. They're going to take time. They're going to take prog. It's going to not be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wipes and you got it. It's going to take time. Be patient with your guildies. Vezax, it's got a learning curve. You've got to manage your mana in a way most people have never had to do. It's going to be difficult for many guilds. Even normal mode. Hard mode, of course, 3 steps above that. Yogg has more mechanics than any other boss in the game, as far as I know. While the Keepers will give you significant buffs, there will be a very real learning curve for guilds to even get 4 light Yogg. 1 light will be a far off goal, and if average guilds end up going for it eventually, it's going to take time. 0 light will not be a possibility for the vast majority of guilds. Neither will Algalon. These are the realities. So when you see the streamers saying 5 wipes and you got it, average guild, please, please, please don't soak that in as a reality. Here, I'm just hanging out with Jones here. Let me just... What's up, Jones? Okay. Some people are existing solely within their class discords or their hardcore guild echo chambers, and they've been so insulated from the community that they're detached completely from what is going on in the game. I can't be any more, like, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but Warcraft logs data will help in this regard. I know in a few weeks it'll prove exactly what I'm saying, and I'm sure Willie will have an incredible video about it, as he does after every phase, showing exactly this. Many above average guilds were struggling on the PTR, okay? There's going to be very real progression for people. If your guild struggles with the full clear of normal mode Ulduar 25, get your friends together and do 10-man. It's got very powerful gear. It'll help you a lot in your next attempts at 25-man. So if you struggle in Ulduar with your guild, which everybody will, consider trying even the 10-man hard modes of Ulduar and see if you can gauge your guild's ability there before you move on to the other ones if you're worried about setting a tone, right? The thing I have to repeat is, do not listen to the streamers that are saying it will take 1 to 5 wipes at max for your average guild to clear hard modes. I watched them play. They couldn't even do this themselves. They were wiping 30 to 100 times per boss, and then they claim that everyone else will do it in 1. They are lying. So, I want to end it with saying that everyone should try to make the most out of the fun of the event. You know, guilds are going to have their friends come together. They're going to cheer each other on. You're going to try to accomplish goals that you set for yourselves, realistic goals that we can feel accomplished for, right? The raid and environment of these phase launches are so exciting. They're the best part of the game. So take a step back, soak in the fact that you're making these memories with your friends in your guild, and enjoy the ride. Thanks. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. It helps me. And from there, I will see you in the next video.